Welcome, everyone. I am Dr. Dream, and you are here for the It's All Good Circle. Today is Monday, November 24th, in the good year of 2025. This is the Monday of Gratitude Week, and so we are all just seriously embracing these energies and just very excited about everything. I wrote something earlier this week that spoke about Thanksgiving Day, and I made a suggestion that it should be referred to from here on out. It should just be Thanksgiving year, and it kicks off on what used to be called Thanksgiving Day, and it continues for a year until the next Thanksgiving Day when it kicks off again, and it's just an annual thing. It's being in a attitude of gratitude just as a focus for one day a year just seems like gratitude got the short end of the stick, and of all energetics that we get to experience and feel expansive within ourselves, gratitude deserves much more than that. So happy Thanksgiving year to everyone, and as such we geared the particular topic to accommodate the energies of the week, the year. And so we'll get on with that in a moment. And then Destiny and I had a phone call, and we've already come up with a topic for next week, which is a really, really good one. So that's exciting also. I have a fun announcement to make. Huge pause. How'd you like that? Was that good? Did that get you going a little bit? All right. So for years now, the best we can figure is Stephanie and I have been together 9 years, and there's this energetic, this perspective, this philosophy, this concept, this point of focus that we've had probably goes back 8 years. And we call it P.L.E.L, P-L-E-L, and it stands for Positive, Loving, Energetic Loopers. And finally, this weekend, I thought, let's do something. A couple of years ago, I bought the domain name P.L.E.L.info, P-L-E-L.info, and didn't do anything with it. And I was looking at my domain names this weekend, and I thought, it's time. So I built a website and started a companion Facebook group. Let's see, I just introduced it last night. We've already got 53 members in there. You can find it on Facebook by looking for the group or just searching P.L.E.L, and it'll come up. But here's the whole concept. The whole energetic behind this is that when we connect with another human, there's an opportunity to complete an energetic circuit, if you will. We call it the loop, and we call it completing the loop. And it's the reminder that every interaction we have is a two-way street. It's never just meant for one person to give and the other person to receive, and then that's it, and everyone goes their different ways. Everybody has something for the other person. And on the tour of love, we had, in front of thousands of people over the years. And what I found was that some people are not very conscious of this energetic of completing the loop. And then some people are very conscious of this energetic, and they do it ever so well and ever so beautifully. And so we made this up one day when Stephanie and I were talking about it and how energy works. And it's super exciting to be, it's like it was in gestation for 8 years, and like we finally gave birth to it this weekend. And one of the fun things about it is that P.L.E.L is not just a noun, as in a positive, loving, energetic looper, but it's also a verb. Like, oh, that person plels really well, or you plel well, or it's just it's nice. So we've talked about it over the years at events with people when they come up and they maybe gift us something, or they stay behind to help us pack up, or they go the extra distance. And that to us is completing the circuit, completing the loop. And so I have to say that without knowing that there was a name for it, you all P.L.E.L very well. And it's an honor for me to share this in this particular group because of what you all mean to me and how this all works. So if you have not yet become a member of the Facebook group or checked out the website, please go to Facebook and in the search bar type in P.L.E.L and it'll come up, and go ahead and join the group and share a picture and or a story, or a picture and a story, or tell us a little bit about yourself and introduce yourself to the group. And looking forward to whatever this turns into. It's sort of it's we start things and we give it birth the same way you give a child birth, and you have no and you nurture that child and everything, but you have no idea like what form or what energetic they're going to gravitate to in life, and what they're going to turn into and what they're going to create and everything like that. And I certainly feel like this whole P.L.E.L energy is that way. And so I'm looking forward to people joining in and being very active and interactive and proactive and all of the above. And so this is your invitation. I look forward to seeing you all there. So this past week, last week in the It's All Good circle, Destiny had brought up what ended up being a really great topic idea. So she and I had a call this in the last week, just a day or two after the circle last week, and we refined the topic, and it was super exciting. And I hung up the phone, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this is such a fabulous topic. I can't wait till we do this next Monday. And then I was like, wait a second, next Monday is the Monday before Thanksgiving. Traditionally, well, we haven't had this for a year, so we haven't done this before, but in the new tradition, the Monday before Thanksgiving would be the gratitude It's All Good circle. And so I contacted Destiny immediately and said, how about we put it off one week and we do gratitude this week? And she said yes. And so here we are. And this is an opportunity for us to share either a short list of things that we have gratitude for, or pick one aspect of our life or of reality or whatever you want that you have gratitude for that you want to share on. There's not a lot of us tonight, so we have a bit of extra time to go through this process. Excuse me, as throat chakra already acting up. As always, I'll go ahead and start because I don't like to put anyone on the spot, or I like to put myself on the spot. I'm not sure how that works, but gratitude plays such a huge role in my life experience. And earlier today, Daryl and I did our 7 videos for the week, and because it's Thanksgiving week, a lot of the topics had to do with gratitude. And one of the things I shared was that a little over 9 years ago, when I met my future wife, Stephanie, prior to meeting her, if you said, how are you on the gratitude scale, I would have said, I'm way off the scale, in my cocky little voice and energetic that I have sometimes. And then I meet Stephanie, and she caught me so off guard because she is in such deep gratitude for everything. And I thought, wow, wow. It's not like it's a competition, but it was more like her level of gratitude was an invitation for me to step up my level of gratitude, and maybe also a nice reminder that I can sort of drop that cocky thing, which I've probably done pretty well at dropping over the years. And so, now and in my interaction with Daryl and learning and experiencing more in the quantum field than ever, realizing that gratitude is a huge piece of the puzzle, or a huge part of the equation, as it were. And I used to, in my 21-day program, part of my 21-day program was the gratitude list. And before people started, they'd say, oh, yeah, 5, 10 things to be in gratitude for. I can do that. I'm like, no, no, no. Ours is 40. The list is 40. And people would be like, 40? What are you doing with 40? And I would say, well, 5 or 10 just for any of us just rolls off the tongue super easily. I'm pretty convinced that that final 15 from 25 to 40 tips the scale and puts you in such deep gratitude that it's not just lip service of, oh, I have gratitude for, this family member and this family member and this, my car works and I've got a job, and all this. But no, now you've got, all those things out of the way. And then you've really got to stretch. And that, to me, that was it was in the stretch that gratitude really could expand. So it's been a focus of mine for years and years in my everyday life. I don't have to look very far at all to be in gratitude. First off, waking up in the morning and taking a deep breath, and just for me, every single morning there is excitement about what the day holds and what the possibilities and opportunities are. And so the foundation energetic in my day is one of tremendous gratitude. And I think, like, sort of setting up that energetic, the quantum field or God, universe, source is like, oh, you like the gratitude thing. I'm just going to give you more and more and more to have gratitude for. And I just go through the day, and everywhere I'm looking and turning and everything else, there's aspects of my experience that just elicit a gratitude response within my field. I'll give you an example today. Last week I went to a doctor in Pocatello, and I wanted to get a full blood workup, a full lab of my blood. And they go through, like, I don't know how many markers and all this. And quite honestly, I was a little bit, I didn't know that it actually brought up a little bit of anxiety. Like, what am I going to find out? Am I opening Pandora's box here, kind of thing? And today I had my appointment with the doctor, and we sat down, and I kid you not, I was waiting for the bombshell to go off the entire time I was sitting at the desk. And guess what? He just kept saying, wow, you're really good in this area. That's excellent. And, oh, you're this fabulous. That's really, really good. And that there were a couple places where he was like, we can definitely improve that a little bit, but these numbers are really great. I was so deeply steeped in gratitude when I left there, because, I had projected that, oh, I must have all sorts of things wrong with me. And here I am going back to, sort of an allopathic medicine thing. And boy, don't ask a question if you don't already know what the answer is, kind of thing. And like, what have I opened myself up to? And on the contrary, so deeply steeped in gratitude for my good health and the good trajectory that my body and mind and everything is taking and embracing. I said last week I'm super interested in passing my 127th birthday because I have this big party planned for Stephanie's 100th birthday, and it's going to happen. I got the blood results that say it's going to happen. So, but seriously, I could go on and on and on about gratitude. The biggest, I mean, health is one of those things, certainly. And then right up there, even with it, are people. Uh, and it's the people, and I'm looking here right now, and Daryl, um, daily phone calls, text messages, audio messages sent back and forth. I even got a really beautiful thank you card from her of her expressing gratitude to me that just came last week, and it's here at my desk, and I look at it all the time. And then Phil and I met and became fast friends, and he has stepped up to be at times my bodyguard, at times my sounding board, but at all times a dear friend, and makes me very happy. Susie Casaro, we met, bonded over so many similarities in what we were both doing. And then our phone calls and our expanded friendship have just been a source of pure joy in my life. Destiny, who came into my life as Stephanie's best friend, and I thought, oh, I don't know, how this is going to go. She's so close to Stephanie. I'll probably never really be that close with her, and she's like one of my best friends, and just just so pleased to have a friend like Destiny. Sylvie is just, I'll never forget the first email correspondence. It might have been a Facebook message. I don't recall which it was, from Sylvie after we first met. And she expressed such gratitude for me and the energies that she's experienced from me and everything like that. And I was just like, oh wow, she really, it was a P.L.E.L moment, because obviously she had received from me, and what she gave back to me to this day is a standout reminder, plus being here every week. Vienna, we met through another friend, and through Vienna, I got to interact with a couple of her sons, and she was very, very supportive from the time we first met, and we have a beautiful friendship and relationship. When there's something that I used to feel like I couldn't muscle test on my own because I was too emotionally connected to it, I would call Vienna and say, "Hey, do you have a moment? Could you muscle test this for me? I'm too deep in the fire here, to do it on my own." And she's been just there and always there. And then my wife Stephanie, and I can't even start. I have such gratitude for her moment to moment, um, everything about her, even the things that make me a little crazy. I have gratitude for, because it must be important that it makes me a little crazy. So I wanted to honor each of you that's here. There's many people that aren't here, but this was just a tremendous opportunity for me to share such, I mean, just how much I appreciate all of you and for the beautiful role that you have and you continue to play in my life. And on that note, I'm going to pass it over to Phil. And because that's sort of what we do every week, I get the ball rolling and then Phil takes off with it. So, Phil, here you go. You're up.
Okay. Um, it's interesting because you're always an interesting act to follow. Um, it, what you've talked about in these relationships with everybody, one of the things that I'm, truly grateful for is myself and Dr. Dream met on a thread, and all of a sudden we got to talking, and it was just one of these relationships that all of a sudden it's like, wow, you're a friend, and it went on from there. I'm highly grateful for you bringing me in to be a part of this. Um, it makes me be attentive. It makes me have a purpose in what we're all doing. It it just, yeah. I mean, and the numbers of people, we migrate to positive thinking and positive people, and what a tremendous group that have assembled to come here every week, and what a great feeling to be a part of all of this, and everybody, and that in itself is fabulous. And you know it's kind of weird because I'm so blessed with what I'm surrounded with. And so my son-in-law, as you probably all know, is a locked-in quadriplegic. Clayton lives in our home. Um, he's been here for 7.5 years. They told him that he would be gone in the first 6 months when we moved him out of the hospital. Um, and Clayton cannot talk, but Clayton has a brain. He, can look up to say yes, down to say no. He can control a computer switch with his left hand. He can communicate in ways. It's a bit boring for him to communicate via computer because it takes so much time. And it's very difficult. We were hoping that he was on the list for Elon Musk and Neuralink to get a chip transplant so that whatever he wanted to say would come out on the computer. That hasn't happened. It's been a while. I'm not so sure that it's going to happen. But I'm still hoping that, yeah, that moves forward, and that's all good. Um, my wife just, it's amazing. There's times when, we have these times where there's a bit of this love-hate relationship, and we've been together for so long, and sometimes our notions, our attitudes, they'll clash at times. But I'm so fortunate to have her next to me, and she's actually sitting here with me now. But she's an off-camera person, um, as Daryl knows, and that's another thing is. So we get to know Daryl, and we go and she let us stay at her place, and we had this fabulous time in Sedona, and I mean, just so many things to be grateful for. And Dr. Dream, I'm so happy for you to bring up this Thanksgiving year, because today is 2 days or 3 days before the end of this Thanksgiving year. And so all the things in this last year that we have to be thankful for are just, immense. And within this group alone, the things that we all have been a part of, and what we do may not on the surface appear to have a everlasting, ever present effect, but it does. We're affecting a lot of things. And Dr. Dream, you put this together, and yeah, it's awesome. So thank you for that. Thank you for everybody that shows up. And yeah, forever grateful. Thank you.
Awesome, Phil. Love you. Destiny, your screen went dark. Is that because you want to make sure that your voice comes through? Maybe not. All right, Destiny, we're going to come back to you. So this is that opportunity for someone else to unmute themselves, and I will see that, and then you will be sharing. Who would like to unmute themselves and share? Or do you want me to play school marm and pick you? It's your
You'd be a
call.
lousy school marm.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But if I put my mind to it, I bet I could do anything.
Right? Wah, 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 wah. Charlie Brown. Thank you, teacher. Oh, goodness. So much to be grateful for. The thing that pops in right now, and I may take a short turn and have a second turn after some of you share, and I'll go, oh, yeah, that too, is how amazing is it that I have more people than I can count on my fingers that I can live and speak unfiltered with, in that sense of I've I've had so much of my life that I was people pleasing and trying to translate everything into the language that they would best understand and not judge me if I'm outside their box or whatever. And just in this last couple of years to be coming into such a wide open space of friends that I don't have to censor what I'm saying because I might offend them. I might get judged. I might whatever. And when I think of abundance, I think of that. All of you are certainly in that group. And some of you, because I don't know you well, so I don't assume at all that you're going to judge me in a harsh way. It's just like, sure, they'll love me as I am. And so you actually get to know the real me because I'm not hiding and I'm not wearing a mask. Wow. So super, super grateful for that. And the other side of it is, how many ways is it related? But the courage that gives me, that I can be the real me and be okay and be safe. And for goodness sakes, the people that I've feared what they might think of me if they knew the real me, maybe they'd really love me. They like the fake me, okay? They might love the real me. So coming to that space of being, just finding my way. I feel like a baby just learning to walk and coming into that, okay, I can say what I'm feeling here, and being brave and being seen, and realizing that if someone takes some distance and doesn't come around for a while, I'm okay. And I get to trust that they're okay. I never was their protector, their redeemer. you know, I, I get to be me and I don't have to be more than me. So grateful for you all and the other friends in other communities that have come around that I can be me, and grateful for the expansion of me into other communities because of the courage of a platform like this. Thank you.
Thank you, Vienna. I appreciate everything you just said. And I love that energetic of all of us being able to just be us. Who would like to go next? Wide open here. I'm just looking at the red microphones on the side of my Zoom screen, and I'm like, is one of those going to turn not red? Sylvie, yes. Go ahead, my
Yeah,
dear.
yeah. First of all, I can really relate to Vienna, to what you said, being grateful, and Phil, and even you, Dr. Dream, for this circle. What is every Monday a really beautiful pleasure, because it's a real communication, and that none of us is afraid to be seen. And I'm so grateful for so many things. Is one of the main things what I feel every day when I wake up is that I'm so grateful for the earth, for our mother, because for me it's to understand that she is for me unconditional love. She trusts us no matter what we do to her. She nourishes us. She cares for us. And the most beautiful thing is she has every time so beautiful, magical moments for us. And I could dive in deeper and deeper, like just the tension to feel the wind on my skin, to feel the warmth of the sun, to feel the life force of a raindrop. It's amazing. It's so amazing. And then all the beings who are running around on this beautiful planet, like cats, dogs, are the ones we are really close to mostly. But even if I see the birds and butterflies, I'm so grateful for this, that I enjoy with all my senses and that my senses are working. I can see, I can hear, I can feel, I can smell the beautiful flowers, the different smells. It's amazing. It's so wonderful at the same time. Like sometimes I feel like I'm Alice in Wonderland. It's, you know, if we put all the things what we have learned by sight and we just be and sit there in stillness and just watch around us, oh my gosh, these are for me the most magical moments. And I'm grateful that I can share this. I'm grateful even to share my gifts and talents, that I have gifts and talents and that I'm aware of this. And I wish all the other souls wake up and start to be aware how amazing they are, how unique they are, how perfect they are, that there's nothing missed in everyone. Everyone is complete. And I think I could keep on going with this list, endless, because all what is around us is something what we can be grateful for, that we can drink water, that we even know how to program water, to program ourselves, that we have access to so much knowledge. What is beautiful thing. If I think the time as I born and you needed to go to a library and then your favorite book you wanted to search was not there. Okay, come back in 1 week. And 5 minutes before, someone grabbed the book to borrow it from the library. Okay, another week. So right now we are in this beautiful space where we have the access straight ahead, and that's the most incredible thing. This is why I think internet is a nice thing. Not for everything, but for those things, yeah. And even we can see each other. and have these beautiful circles. And I'm grateful for the 21-day program you sent me, day 9. I had a lot of beautiful insights and really a lot of things to think about and to understand even more myself. Thank all of you.
Beautifully stated, Sylvie. Thank you so much. Looking to see who is going to step up next. And it's Susie. Yes, Susie, go ahead.
Hi. So this morning I woke up and I've been getting back into Joe Dispenza, and I didn't realize that I had a library of on his website that I signed into, that I have lots of his meditations. So I started out with listening to Blessing of the Centers, and he gives a dissertation before it, which is just so expansive and intricate. And then you go and then he goes into the meditation, and it's a beautiful meditation. And I see where, and it's just so it really it opens everything up, because you're putting attention on every single center and outside the center and out into your etheric or auric body. And my cat, I'm very grateful. He's my innocence, and he's so funny in the morning. Oh my God, he's hilarious. And it's just, I joined the P.L.E.L only because I thought, oh, I want to be a looper. That sounds like fun, without knowing what a looper was. I thought, oh, I'm going to be a looper. And then you explained what that was. And I go, oh yeah, okay. And I like the idea of there being more than an exchange of energy between two people, rather than just a one-way street. Living alone for 50 years and just having, mostly internet. I'm not real social anymore. I used to be, well, no, I was never really very social. So the internet really offered quite a bit, but this really, I've reached out to so many of you. Sylvie, I just had a beautiful meditation, a new moon meditation that was just so powerful, so very powerful. And I'm very grateful to be able to have access to people that have an understanding about energy and wanting to be their best selves and putting their best foot forward and their best heart forward, and really paying attention to that aspect of themselves, and not just plowing through life sort of sleeping at the wheel, unconscious, because so many are. But even beyond, and it's like, and I can see through that, everybody, it's like at the essence of everybody is the same, regardless of whatever distortion they may be showing. That's not who the distortion is, just that's the illusion, and that part of it's ego and part of it is, whatever. They made this thing up in their constructed place, and they're not yet in touch with who they are. But there's so much energy for waking up and more people really putting their best selves forward, that even the grumpy people are starting to lighten up a little bit. And so it's like, oh, okay. And I've taken little things from every one of you, especially Daryl, reading her book and going out in the world and doing just the little random acts of kindness. I was, into random acts of kindness, but I've kind of stepped that whole thing up and really make a point of going out of my way, because it's been easy for me to just stay behind the curtain and stay hidden. And so it's time to step forward. And joy can, and I put it on your P.L.E.L site, I put up a picture of my cat, and it's so easy to find joy in just the smallest of things, that it just, like Sylvie says, the animals, oh my God, they come up. I feel like I'm the one in a cage. They come up to my window while I'm writing, and they're kind of going, looking at me. And the deer, especially, they're so funny. And the rabbit, he's getting very, very friendly. And I've got real gourmet food for him now. I've got dandelion tops, and I read that feeding him carrots is like giving him candy. So I've got him hooked on crack. He's like, he wants the carrots. I put just a couple of carrots out there, but he makes sure he eats those first. And I thought, oh boy, okay. So, but I love my animals, my wild animals out here that come, and they lay around my yard. And, part of it, I'm sure, is, my cube kind of sends that energy out there, because everybody else around me has dogs. And they just come, and I've got this 6-point buck laying under my apple tree every day. He just comes and he just lays under there. And, and I'll have like 6 or 7 deer laying out in my pasture, and they're just laying around, hanging out, while there's dogs over there, and over there, there's just dogs everywhere, and the dogs are barking, but they know they're safe here. It's easy for me to be grateful. My car is running. Yes, that's definitely one. I just had the water pump replaced. I'm grateful for that. And it's real easy to see, if you pay attention, every moment has an opportunity for you to notice something that gives you a smile. I've really enjoyed kind of reaching out individually to most of you, except for Phil over there. I don't know how to get a hold of him. He's not on Facebook. Maybe he is. I don't know. I doubt it. Are you on Facebook, Phil?
I think so.
You are? Okay, well, I don't know. I haven't been able to find you. So I just, I mostly
I'll find you.
Okay, yeah, find me.
Yeah.
It'll be easier for you to find me, I think.
I'll
Anyway.
find you.
Yeah. So, because I found that adding each of you to my friend list makes it so that I'll see something that you post in my feed. It's like once you've become friends, I've never really quite understood that whole algorithm thing, but I've noticed that if I've made you my friend, then I see your stuff come across my feed, and I see what people are posting, and that's nice. It kind of is very comforting. It's comforting. I haven't been this outgoing in a long time. So that's a good thing. Yeah.
It's really good to have you.
Thank you. It's good to be had.
thank you for everything you put out there for the rest of us. It's very special. All right. Who would like to be next? Looking for a unmuted microphone. There's a short list of you that have not spoken.
Guess it's my turn.
I'm going to let you be your turn.
Oh man, it's such a wonderful topic and such a difficult topic because there really is so much to be grateful for. And looking back on everything that's happened this year, I think I have a few that are my top. And I think I'll start with friendship. My friendship is just so absolutely amazing. Stephanie is by and far my bestest best friend, and we met at a young age, and we were totally different people than we are now. I mean, in so many ways, and throughout the years we've remained loyal to each other and not judged each other and been there for each other. And there's so many things about her that have shaped who I am, and I just can't even imagine how different life would be without her, and I don't want to. And Dr. Dream goes along with that too. So much of who he is has shaped who Stephanie is and who I am as well. And their friendship has meant so very much to me. It's been so impactful on this whole year of my life. I could go on and on and on in different ways. That they have impacted my life in such beautiful ways. This group and the group that was before this group that Dr. Dream started has been such a big part of my year, having these weekly meetings where we get together and we open up and we're vulnerable and we're loving and we're moving forward. We're growing together. This is an absolutely invaluable space to be, and I'm so happy to be here every week. And yeah, just both of you have done so much in my life, and I'm just so absolutely grateful that that I have them. And one thing that I've noticed on the P.L.E.L subject is that all the best friendships and relationships have P.L.E.L, even when you have no idea what that is. It really, you look at it, and that's what the best friendships contain. That's part of what makes it so beautiful. And that brings me to love. Love is definitely something that I'm incredibly grateful for as well. Can't imagine living life without all this love, and the love that I share with my friends is so beautiful because you choose that from the very beginning. It's not like you have to deal with that person like you ever had to, but you chose to see each other and you chose to be present with each other and chose to appreciate each other, and all of that love that you choose is just so absolutely beautiful. And I also appreciate the love that I've chosen to feel and be in my life. It's been such an interesting journey learning to love myself, but I have always had this little bit of instinct that I knew I had to be grateful for who I was and for my life. And I'm so grateful for that love of myself in my life that I've been able to maintain over the many, many things that I've done and said that I regret. And I could think of, if I wanted to, I could think of a lot of reasons not to love myself, but I keep choosing to. And it makes life so worth it. And gratitude itself is something to be so grateful for. And It's almost like a religion. Gratitude is everything in life. All of the things that even you think maybe you shouldn't be grateful for are truly, truly things to be grateful for. This whole life is playing out in ways that we will not understand most of the time until we look back. And so everything is something to be grateful for. And when you can learn to live with that perspective, then you learn to accept what is and not struggle so much and not fight it so much. You can be grateful for every feeling that you need to feel and everything that brings up the hard stuff to deal with. That's some of the biggest things to be grateful for. So those are my 3 things. Grateful to be here with you all and share.
Thank you, Destiny. Love all of that. Now there's, according to my list, just 2 of you that haven't spoken yet. Which one of you is going to step up first? I feel like I should be playing the Jeopardy tune. Do, 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 do. All right, shy ones. Okay, well, Daryl, you're on the top of the list. I'm going to call on you.
I was hoping Stephanie, I want to be sure everybody gets heard, so um okay. Oh, all of your gratitude offerings are just stunning and beautiful and magnificent, and my heart is full, and I just want to weep and go, thank you for everyone here, and what you shared is so it's significant. And so it caused me to reflect on I would say, my life path. And my particular destiny was such that I needed to go alone on pretty much everything. And I was so different, apparently, from everybody and kind of wasn't welcome in a lot of places. And I was a natural athlete and was very good at every possible sport. Like the minute I picked up a tennis racket, I knew how to play. It was weird. There was a guy was on the tennis court, and this guy came up and said, "Wow, how many years have you played?" And I said, "Actually, this is my first time." And he went, "Of course you're lying. Why are you lying?" And I went, "No, it's okay. 4 years." So I just said a number to satisfy him. But I was a 22-foot jump shot person. I could shoot, and I could tell the moment the ball left my hand that it was going to be swish and it wouldn't touch the ring. And I could tell the moment it left. It was weird stuff. And softball and volleyball and track and field. I was in the Western Nationals for the Olympics. I have a gold medal from the Junior Olympics in high jump and 50-meter low hurdles, and had this. So that was not something girls did. So right there was where the judgment began. I was really super proud. I would wear my track cleats and make clicky noises to go to McDonald's after practice, wearing my track uniform because I was so proud of my track uniform and my clicky noises. People are looking at me and pointing and all kinds of things. And so then the next level of where the judgment started to really get packed on was being in a girl. I called it being in a girl body, upsetting boy bodies, because I intentionally made it sound really stupid so they'd stop it. Do you know what I mean? And so in a girl body at 21 with almost no education or experience, because of God's hand guiding in my life, because there's a destiny apparently, but I didn't know about God then. So I didn't know that was happening. But that my first customers were presidents and chairmen of companies. And so those are my first clients. And so when I would go in and promote the bank and the things that we can do for their particular industry, and they would just, after 30 seconds, stand up and say, "Bring me a guy." And the first time I heard that, I went, "Oh my gosh, you're in luck. We have so many of them, so I'll bring you a really good one." You know what I mean? I said that and I meant it. I mean, because anyway, you want a guy, I'll bring you a good one. anyway, so but then gradually I kept, moving and going and all of that. And because my basic nature was a service of humanity, so that was my fundamental kind of way of being. I soared in results in the bank in ways that would just seemed remarkable. Still didn't know anything about anything, but the client care seemed to matter in terms of results. So out of 125 top people with all kinds of privileges that I did not have, I finished third in production. So then the president of the bank said, what did she call that? What did he call that? I forget child prodigy. I started laughing. I went, sure, we'll call it that. It's like, it's not a prodigy, it's not a brain thing. It was a heart-based thing. So then what then happened shortly after that, because I was making all this money, and so the executive VP of the bank called me in. He said, "We're like amazed. Everyone's amazed at your results, and but we're going to cut you off at 50,000." And I said, "Why is that?" And he said, "Because we don't want you to be alone." And I went, "Why would I be alone?" He said, because no man will marry a woman making more money than he does, and you're already there. So I'm just telling you straight out. Then I said to him, so I was 23, and I said, so let me understand what you're saying. If I bring in another 10 million and you benefit from that 10 million, you won't pay me? And he went, yeah, that's pretty much what we're saying. Okay. So I knew for purposes of credibility, I needed to be there. I would never have this position again anywhere in banking. It was just like a miracle. And so by 27, I thought, well, what I need to do now, so no one knows how much money I make, is to become an independent consultant. So then I approached banks, so I had 19 banks, and I approached them and said, if I bring money in your bank, will you pay me? As long as they're there, a certain percentage, small percentage. So everyone said yes. So no one knew about the other one and all of that. However, being a consultant at 27 was considered but men don't listen to women. Women don't stand up in front of boards in a business setting and guide them as to what to do, things like that. So then that was met with an awful lot of judgment. I was just massive amounts of judgment was coming. And then in the dating world, lots of judgment because I was only around women that wanted to marry men that had money. Well, I wanted to make my own money so I could marry someone because I felt like it, not because there's anything I don't have that he can get me. I didn't want a relationship like that, do you know? So anyway, so then that was weird. And so everyone then started judging me because I wasn't married. And so I announced to all my clients, I just said, let me just stop all this going on. I'm not going to think about getting married till I'm 30. So just for you to know that, that's 3 years from now. They were like, yeah, right. No one would marry a woman that's 30. You won't even be able to have babies, like that. And I went, you know what? I'm going to marry someone because I feel like it. And if the biological clock runs out and I don't get to have babies, then I'll adopt. I'm just saying, I will not marry anybody until I feel like it. And it's that sad about that. So then that caused, she's probably doesn't like men because they don't see me with one, all of that. So then that started. So then, and then at some point, then fast forward to the consulting was just off the chart, amazing. And then it turned into being a public speaker, which I hadn't intended, another God's hand in that. And now I'm speaking across the country full time on value exchange dynamics, which is the fifth dimensional business plan of the humanistic business plan in business settings. And any companies that actually then adopted that thrived. They just thrived, but there wasn't an arena that kept supporting that sort of thing. So that was God kept saying, just plant seeds. So through all of that was so much judgment all the time. And I just didn't seem to fit. And so I used to make jokes and say that two things. One, I have missing link karma. So I'm not who we used to be, but I am who we're not yet. Something like that. And then the other one was I was on my way to another planet, but ran out of gas around Earth and was forced to land. I don't belong here. That was another one. And so, of course, all of that caused a spiritual very early on. So when I was 22, I'm making all this money in the bank, and I never saw that coming. And so I had a chiropractor I went to for my health care. And I said to him, I'm making all this money and it was so easy, and I'm only 22. That can't be why I'm here. I think it may be something with God or something. Do you know anything about him? He went, actually, I do. I went, would you tell me about him? And so he said, better yet, I'll introduce you to a wonderful youth program at Hollywood Presbyterian Church. And so Lloyd Ogilvy was kind of turned into like a super famous minister guy, and he was one of the Senate chaplains in Washington, D.C., which was always one of his dreams to have that. And so I learned, that's when I began learning things about God, and I got baptized and all of that. And so anyway, but the judgment was constant. And then if somebody got close to me, like a girlfriend was close or a guy friend close, and they saw any weakness of any form, that was met with judgment. So then I learned early on that I'm not allowed to be me, because actually being me isn't safe. So then, but I was having all these other kinds of privileges with the kind of clients I had, the money I was making, the quality of my life, and all of that was, something I never saw coming, but was having for a long, long, long time. And then on top of it, there was a deep sadness inside, not only from childhood and being brought up, but that I'm actually this really nice person. So I can't understand why everybody's always judging me and so mad. What did I do? And if someone just tells me, what did I do? I'll stop doing it. But everyone's just sort of just mad all the time, like my presence becoming in the room caused challenges. And so, with all that said, the gratitude was very difficult for me to evoke because I was always in a defensive mode to protect myself from myself not showing who I be, because apparently that's not okay, who I be. And then fast forward to 2017 and going to India. And so that was the life-changing moment. When I learned from that process what was going on in India, the classes I took and stuff like that with this one teacher, when I was saying to her when she had said we're going to do a meditation before the class and I mean after, so then we're going to take a break, and when you come back, and the meditation is going to be to forgive your parents. That's what the meditation will be. That's when I went up to her and I went, I'm not doing that. Like, make me. Not doing it. And so then because of that, she realized some things. She was this fabulous woman, and she was a monk, by the way. And so she said, well, we're going to take forgiveness off the table because it's not possible for you. But from here forward, every meditation in every class from here forward, your particular meditation is to ask divine why you chose that family and your circumstances in the first place. Never thought of that. And did. And on the fourth morning is when I had the greatest transformation of my lifetime, which was a realization. I heard a voice. I know that sounds strange, but I'm not afraid to be me anymore. So take it or leave it, but that's what happened, is that I heard a voice, and the voice basically said, there's going to be a moment in time where there's going to be no doubt, none, that every single event that has happened in your life, without one exception, was preparation for your destiny. And in that moment, especially being an athlete for a long time, is that training and preparation to be a champion was like second nature. I mean, I'd always loved to be the best I can be. Regardless of the outside, I still wanted to keep improving myself. So in that moment, I'm like, preparation for my destiny. Wow, that means I have some value because I have a destiny that was worth preparation for. So then I met all of those things in a moment in one big giant sweep with gratitude. Genuine, no kidding, thank you. I do it all again. The moment that I realized that I was being prepared for something super important. And so then the gratitude became something that I now understood. Why? Because I had no more judgment. It was my judgment that prevented me, this make me cry, prevented me from actually feeling any genuine gratitude, because I was always with preparing myself for being hit again and again and again from every possible platform. I can't tell you how many religions I was thrown out of because I didn't fit and I didn't talk like them and blah, 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 all of that. So anyway, then coming full circle to meeting Dr. Jenny. So this is where I am. I cannot even contain the gratitude I have that's in my being, in my body. It's so vast. Is that when she opened the door to meet the energy enhancement system owners, and when we had our first interactions, and then I began, calling, like I called Phil. Phil was on a 45-minute drive somewhere, and then we just had this best powwow, and I felt like I've always known him my whole life. Like I know him. I know you from some other place. And then Jennifer Urban. And then it goes on and on that every single energy enhancement system owner, I just felt at the first time in my lifetime that I felt I have a tribe and I'm invited. And that being full out me is not a bad thing and never has been. And the idea of being completely free person and being with people I love and adore who were all meant to be together to do this extraordinary thing on the earth is filled with gratitude. I cry all the time. Like it's almost like a disbelief that I got so lucky to be this fortunate and meet such wonderful people, that we're all alike. We all have serving humanity in common. We all have going full out and doing the best we can and be the best we can be. To do that is a good thing, not something that creates jealousy and competition and all of that, which I experience in the business world all the time. And so, especially because my results were so huge with what appeared like small effort. And so the jealousy was massive, and all kinds of other things happened as a result of that. And so now at this point, I actually do understand what it, and not only, but experience the frequency of gratitude is so massive for this time in my life, and that I feel will be for the last breath I take in this world, will be with you wonderful people. And the gift of that to my life and getting to be me full out. I actually called my friend Debbie, who I stayed with, she and her husband, while they're writing of the Quantum Living book. And I went, "You're just not going to believe what's happening. I met these amazing people. And their business is consciousness, which I've always, that's been my source of interest for my whole life. And guess what, Debbie? You're not going to believe this because I'm having a hard time believing it. But being me, exactly me, isn't a bad thing. Can you imagine? That's a first in my lifetime as an older person. And so connect, and I also became aware that I believe that the reason this is all happening the first thing that needed to take place is for me to cease judgment as an evaluation system. Stop it cold. Because the judgment is what causes all suffering. Ego causes judgment, causes all suffering. And I just kept perpetrating it because I just thought all these things that are happening aren't fair, aren't right. I'm a nice person. I don't get what's the problem. I'm not asking for anything. I create all my own, for myself. Anyway, but because of that moment is what was the cause and the release that needed to happen for me to let go of judgment of any form and then start appreciating that being prepared for something this important. Are you kidding me? That's like a huge thing. And so because of that, it set the trajectory to be able to meet you and be able to build and create together for the purpose of raising the consciousness of humanity and fulfilling our destiny. And the gratitude is, there aren't human words to describe what that feels like. And my gratitude to be able to feel gratitude, kind of like Destiny was saying, like being able to feel gratitude is for the feeling gratitude. Do you know what I mean? It's so huge and it's so spot on, is that. So I hope this wasn't too long an explanation, but I did want to connect the idea of letting go of judgment completely. Just that saying that's a frequency that's not in my life anymore. And when it shows up, you just take a deep breath and go sit in a corner or something till it passes or whatever it takes for to not utilize it for any reason. Because then gratitude becomes an automatic byproduct of the absence of negativity. Just the absence of negativity. Then you can then, like Einstein said, it's where everything, every day is a miracle. So thank you for your patience in listening to that longer version. Oh,
Thank you for
thank you.
sharing.
Oh, bless you, Vienna. Thank you. Thank you. Oh,
Appreciate that.
thank you. Oh, Susie, thank you. Oh, Sylvie, thank you. Make me cry. Yeah, there's Stephanie. Look at that bright, look at that pure soul,
I
that
was
angel human. Yeah, go
I
ahead.
have been flour because I've been rolling out phyllo dough, which is why I could not come earlier.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Good, good. There
Phyllo.
you are.
Sorry
Beautiful
about that.
you.
But Daryl, I'm so happy that you have been able to move into a place in gratitude. It is the most powerful medicine, I believe. You know, like love and gratitude are my thing. Like that's what I'm all about and have been all about my entire existence.
Yeah.
I really do believe that the more that people can allow themselves to step into gratitude and into love, the more that our planet is going to reach the consciousness that it needs to be able to
Absolutely.
experience peace on earth and harmony, living in balance with Gaia and man and animal and plant and all that good stuff. Um, so yeah, Destiny, I just, you gave me a shout out, so I'll give you a shout out too. Destiny's a really special person to me that I am super grateful for because with her, I truly know what it is to experience unconditional love. Like she was saying, like we've been through like so much together and never with judgment, just always with acceptance. And of it just truly does feel like unconditional love, which is really deep medicine for the soul. And so, Destiny, I love you. Thank you. Uh, and of course, Dr. Dream, I love you. My husband, you're amazing. I'm super grateful for you and the role that you play in my life, for all that you do for me, and all of the ways that you have influenced me and inspired me and everything. I have a lot of gratitude for a lot of people, my parents, my brother, my grandparents, like my friends, like the circle is just huge, like all of you. um but then like I have gratitude for like just like the very simple things, like I've always thought that if you can be grateful for and happy with just being fed and homed and clothed, like the very simple basics, like you're warm and you're fed, like boom, that's enough, and then you can just take it up from there. So being homed, being fed, then everything else is just this complete bonus, like it's extra experience to be grateful for. And then we live in this amazing country. I know, like, people will fight me on that, but it really is amazing. And as far as food goes, we can go to the grocery store and we have so many options to nourish ourselves and so much ease of access to go and get healthy, nutrient dense food to nourish our bodies, to strengthen ourselves. And I'm just so grateful for access to food. Uh, I've always been grateful for food. And then it really hit me when we traveled down to like Guatemala and Jamaica, and you see people and they're living off of literally like tortillas and beans and rice, and like that's all they have access to. Like they don't really have food, but yet they seem like they're happier than most Americans, and they live in like little wood sheds, or not, I don't think they're wood, I don't know what their huts are made out of, but they're open air, like they don't have windows or doors. But they're so happy, and they just, like we just have so much here, like such comfortable homes, such nice clothes, so much good food. I'm really grateful for my comfy bed and for my roof and for my dog. My dog is our dog. she's like she's totally my sidekick. She's with me all the time, and I have so much gratitude for her. I have a lot of love to give, and like just need kind of an outlet to put a lot of that love a lot of the time, and Bliss just absorbs it all. um and like our planet, I'm so grateful for our planet and all of the beauty and magnificence in the planet. Like to go and hike into nature and just take off my shoes and like soak my feet into the earth and feel what it feels like to feel that clean dirt in between my toes and smell the fresh air. I'm so grateful for clean air and clean water. Destiny and I grew up like running in the forest, and I'm a little more cautious now, but back when we were 18, never take water bottles, just go and drink right off the moss. Destiny still does. We went backpacking this summer and she didn't bring a water filter. She just filled up her water bottle out of the lake or the creek and just drink it all day. I bring a filter now, but just so grateful for the magnificence of like everything that is. I think it's really amazing, like how the cities have become what they are, everything that's available in cities. You can go to a city, go to good restaurants, good yoga centers, you can go check out great art museums. It even comes down to like, I'm grateful for the people all across time that have built society up, and like oftentimes like people are like speeding or acting like disrespectful in ways. And I'm like, that's not like respectful of the people who have put their time and their energy into what is here now. And I'm so grateful for what is here now that I do my best to try to be respectful, to like show that gratitude for everything that we get to experience. Like society has come so far, and I am really grateful to be here in this time when we're coming back around from building to like meeting back to spirit. Like we've gotten our comfort, we've gotten our basics built up, and now we can come back to spirit and like really create that harmony, that peace on earth that is completely obtainable. We just need to more people like everyone here to step into what our role is, to inspire other people to step into what their role is, to remember to remind like humanity that it's not about stuff. It's not about like more. It's about humanity and people in balance and like living in balance. And I'm just so grateful to be alive in this time when some people are like, no, I don't want any of this. I'm like, no, I want all of this. So I'm really grateful to be, of course, I'm grateful for my health. It's always at the top of my list. Like Destiny said, I'm grateful for gratitude. I've always kind of resonated with the theory that like love and gratitude, like the more you give, the more you get. And I don't give it to get more, but I've just noticed in life, like that's what happens. I've just always been given more opportunities to find gratitude in more things. And it's really, really, really amazing. And yeah, so thank you all for being here and for listening to my small little gratitude rant. I could really like my gratitude list is long. I do it every night before bed. That's how I pray. I pray in gratitude. And then I ask for blessings for people that need them, and more for more people to, like feel how I feel. Because I really do feel like if more people were just in gratitude and love, like the world would just naturally become such a better place. And it's not that I have issue with the way that the world is, because if I did, like that would be, like in judgment. And then when you're in judgment, it is hard to be in a place of happiness and gratitude, because in judgment, you're like, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. And when you're focused on what's wrong, like how can you be focused on what's right? And when you just accept that it's all divine perfection and it's all supposed to be where it is, then you can really just stand there present and be grateful. So yeah, thank you all.
Thank you, Destiny. All right, it's Stephanie. Sorry. I'm in gratitude for the phyllo dough that you're rolling out right now. This was an exceptional share this evening, and we have just a little bit of time left. And what I would like to do is what I wrote this week for the newsletter about Thanksgiving year is very short, and I'd like to close out with that. It's titled Thanksgiving Year, Living in the Frequency of Gratitude. As Thanksgiving approaches, I am reminded that gratitude deserves far more than a single day on the calendar. Gratitude is a frequency, a living energetic, and when we choose it consistently, it changes everything. In the quantum field, it is not our thoughts or our words that carry the greatest power. It is the emotional resonance behind them. What we feel is what we broadcast. What we broadcast is what the field reflects back. This is why gratitude is so potent. It is a stabilizing force and an amplifier of possibility. When we appreciate what is, without needing it to be anything more or anything different, we align ourselves with abundance, ease, flow, and the subtle magic that is always present. So while I love Thanksgiving Day, I suggest something even more powerful. Thanksgiving year, a daily embrace of gratitude for the simple, the profound, the messy, the miraculous, and everything in between. The more we cultivate heartfelt appreciation for all that is, the more life opens its hands and says, here is more. Let us step into a season and a year of expansive thanks. The field is listening, and it always responds. And so, my friends, I want to thank you so much for a wonderful beginning to Thanksgiving week, the end of this past year of Thanksgiving, and the beginning of the next year of Thanksgiving. It is with deep love and respect that I wish you a very happy Thanksgiving year. Thank you for being here on the It's All Good Circle tonight. Have a lovely rest of your week.